So you're trying to get your hands on your first multifamily property, but you don't know where to get started. What's the 30-day action plan? What's the step-by-step guide? I have it right here for you right now.
Sometimes in winter, I gaze into the streets and walk through snow and city sleep behind you. Sometimes in winter.
So guys, this is the multifamily action plan. This is the step-by-step process that you need to follow to go out and get your first multifamily property, even if you're starting from scratch, you've never done a deal before. So the first step, number one, is go out and just get yourself a pre-qual letter. This is a pre-qualification letter that comes from a financial institution, a lender who could step up and give you the money to get this property. And I say could because you don't have to have a pre-qual letter from the exact institution that is going to fund the deal. I could go to Bank of America if I have a bank account with them and get a pre-qualification letter from their mortgage department and then use that to put an offer out and lock up a deal, and then get another lender to fund the deal, get a hard money lender to fund the deal, get a credit union to fund the deal. So you don't have to use that specific lender, but you want that pre-qual letter. And I want that pre-qual letter to be big. In fact, the bigger, the better, right? The bigger the letter, the better. So I actually had one of my mentees ask me, how big should this pre-qualification letter be? I'm only comfortable taking out $200,000, we'll call it, right? And I said, you need to ask them for a $500K. Go ask them for $500,000. Why get a smaller letter when you can get a bigger one? Now, there are some adjustments that we'll make. We might get a big letter that allows us to get a bigger multi, but then when we go to put an offer, let's say the seller was asking only $260,000 for the property, I might reduce that pre-qual letter down to 270 or 265 because I don't want to show so much money in terms of my ability to qualify that the seller starts to use that against me and try to negotiate against me. But that's like fine print stuff. This is just the big picture and the steps. So let's go on to step two.
Really fast, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and leave a comment in the comment section that says I subscribed. For everyone who leaves that comment, I'm going to send you instant access to my free real estate training that shows you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer.
Step two, I want to get my hands on the largest multi. Don't shortcut yourself, right? Don't go out and say, well, I'm just going to get a duplex. I want to play it safe. I want to play it small. We don't want a duplex. We want to go after like a quadplex, right? We want to get our hands on as many bedrooms and bathrooms as possible for our first deal because more beds, more baths, more cash flow, more money coming into your pocket. You're going to get out of the 9-to-5 faster, building more cash flow. So when we do our first deal, we want to make sure it's our best deal, right? Because if we get out of the blocks with a fast running start, we have a better chance of beating out the competition long term. So get your hands on the largest multi. When in doubt, go bigger. Bigger's better. So we're out and about. We're looking at big multifamily properties with our pre-qualification letter. Our realtor's taking us around town. And what we're looking to do is a FHA House Hack, right? So we want to use our FHA loan. This is a loan that allows us to put down as little as 3.5% in a down payment on a large property like a multifamily quadplex, a 4-unit building. So if you can bring 3.5% down to the table, let's run those numbers. A $100,000 property, you can bring $3,500 to the table. And when we introduce things like a seller's assist into the play, we can actually bring even less money to the table than expected because a seller's assist allows the seller to credit us money towards the closing costs. So we can reduce our closing costs down by another 3% of the total loan amount and show up to the table with 3.5%. If you use this strategy correctly, you'll do what I did, which is get your first deal for about $5,000 for a triplex. That's exactly what I did, and that property was cash flowing me $1,000 a month. So in 5 months, I got all of my money back, it was cash flow positive, and I was just on and running to the next deal. Step 4, we want to go turnkey, right? So we don't want to necessarily dive into a deal that's going to require a lot of rehab. My first deal was 100% turnkey, which means I got the keys, I swept the floors, I did a little touch-up paint on the walls, and I handed over those keys to the tenant, and the tenant handed me a fistful of cash. When you go turnkey, you're not getting into renovation. This isn't like Property Brothers. This isn't like it is on TV where you're running into the house with a sledgehammer and you're trying to value add this building from day one. You just want something turnkey where you can start to make cash flow right away and get into being a landlord. Being a landlord long term, that's 50% of the business, maybe 60% of the business right there. Just learning how to monetize assets long term. So if you're doing all these steps, pre-qual, getting the largest multi, doing your FHA House Hack, and keeping that turnkey, you're already on the path to massive cash flow. Step 5, I want a property that I can value add long term. Like I said, I don't want to necessarily do it right away. I want something that's going to cash flow from day one. I'm going to write cash flow next to turnkey because I want you guys associating cash flow with turnkey properties. That's all I'm looking for is low property taxes, a low mortgage, and high rents, more cash flow. So as long as I'm cash flowing on this turnkey property, I'm great. I want long-term value add capability. So I want a big multi where I could hypothetically go in and add more bedrooms to the property over the course of the time. If it has a large living room, I might shrink down that living room and add another bedroom because more beds equals more cash flow, more money in your pocket, getting you out of the 9-to-5 faster. So these are the steps. This is my multi-family action plan. Follow these steps and you're going to get a great high cash flowing multi-family property, a bigger, better type of deal that's going to make you and your family money and get you out of the 9-to-5 before you even think it's possible, right? I'm Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, signing off. And once again, make sure you tap into that free training. Click the link below the description here and tap into the free training. I'm going to show you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, signing off.
The streets and walk through snow and city sleep behind you. Sometimes in winter I gaze into the streets.